Hey y'all, welcome back to the shop. This is DeVries Custom Leather. My name is Bruce. Today we're going to work on making some of these little drawstring bags. Got several sizes here. I want to show you, before I do that, I want to show you how to make the pattern for them. And we're going to do that starting on this piece of paper here. This is one that's already done. There's several things to remember about making these. You just decide whatever size you want. This pattern here makes a bag about this size. I believe that diameter about 11 inches, which is a nice size for just whatever you want to put in it. You might want to fill it full of dollar bills, give it away. This little one here is about half that size, and be just right for maybe putting a engagement ring in and stick it in your pocket when you get ready to propose to somebody. So there's lots of uses for them, but this size right here is the size that I make the most of. I want to show you how to make it. All you really need to do is draw a circle. This one happens to be about 5.5 inches, so that's what we're going to use today. I just find one of these center sections here, so that's the basis of it. The next thing you want to do is make these little ears. And these what you grab onto when you pull it open. Makes it a lot handier. And I like these ears to be big enough to hold on to. I also like this curve to be real gentle. I don't like it to be a sharp curve, because when I make these, I like to cut them out with this rotary cutter. You can get this at any Hobby Lobby, and they're super handy. So when I do that, I make sure that I can go around these edges with this radius and cut these out with something like this. You can use scalpel, scissors, a head knife, whatever you have. One of the things I like about this project is if you got a pair of scissors and some leather, you can make this. And so what we'll do is we'll make some ears on here, and what I like to do is find the center across here, and we'll just mark that. Doesn't matter which side the ears are on, because it's a circle. I'm going to use this little stencil here, and I'm going to use a 2-inch circle, and I'm going to use the centering lines to kind of line that up so it's all even. I don't know if you can see those lines from way up there or not, but I'm going to just draw that half circle right there. Same thing over here, centering the line on this grid, making sure the lines this direction are touching these edges, and I'm just gonna, that'll be plenty of ears. Then I want to make this a little bit of a gentle slope right here, so I'm gonna take this big washer, run my lines in there like that. And this is all up to you. You do this how you want. If you want a straight cut right here, make that thing straight. It's all up to you. All right, that's our basic shape. Now what we have to remember right here is that each side of this circle has to have an even number of holes. I'll show you in a minute why that's absolutely necessary. So in this particular one, there's 16 on each side, 32 separate holes. So we've got that cut out and folded, and I went ahead and punched my holes. If you'll fold that half in two, and then that half, and then that half, if you've got a good punch, you can just punch 4 times and you'll get your holes spaced just the way you want them throughout the whole circle. This is a 5/16 punch, 5/16 of an inch, and it's fine for leather about this diameter. Of course, the smaller your bag and the smaller you'll want your strings, the smaller you'll want this hole. There needs to be a little resistance in these holes in order to hold this bag tight. If you get too big of a hole, it'll want to flop open. So that's part of the reason this stays closed. In fact, it's got 2 strings running through that size right there. So with that, we'll just open this up and you'll see that that's our pattern. Now, if you're going to use this pattern over and over and over, you'll want to transfer this onto some kind of card stock, something that's a poster board, something that's a good bit thicker. For today, we are going to make this on some of this goat skin. And there's lots of ways to transfer this. This goat skin it's about 2 ounce, maybe 2.5. You can get as thick as you want, but the thicker you get, the less pliable it's going to be. So we'll want to just find a place here. And there's lots of ways you can transfer this. You could use a marker of some sort. This is a good one. Marks on paper, glass, metal. It does pretty good, and it's grease, so it will wipe off of this leather without leaving a mark. But you want to get those all in place before you let this move. There's another way of doing it, is just to take some talc, daub it around that. This will also do your edges. That's just a sock with some talcum powder in it. If you're like me, you've got a lot of mismatched ones, so just pick one out. That pretty well leaves us with everything we need. Like I said, I use this rotary cutter to cut these out. And I'm just going to go around that in one smooth motion because I don't want any stops and starts in this bag. I want this edge to be just as clean as it can possibly be. So there we are. And we have our holes just exactly where we want them. So we'll punch those holes out. I'm just going to punch a few of them, and I'll come back to you. Not much to this. You probably hold on to yours better than I can. So there's our holes punched out, and we're ready to start lacing. Now for this size of a bag, you'll need about 36 inches, 2 pieces of 36 inches long. And that's about what I've got here. And you want to start lacing from the outside. You want to go all the way around you'll notice now that I'm going to be coming to this other tab, and I want to be going out where that tab is. If you're not going out in this area right here where this tab is, then you need to go back here because you missed something. And I'm going to come around the other direction with the same thing. It's nicer to have a little bit more than what you're actually going to need, so you can leave this flat as you lace it around there. I've tried every possible way of doing this, and it's just, you got to stick that lace through 32 times. So that's just the way it is. So that's one side. Now you want to come around the other side and do the same thing. Now we're going the other direction. You got your two ends out here. Now you're coming back in the same hole, but you're going the other way. And I like to try to keep these from twisting around and around as I go. So I'm putting these in at the top of the hole. And you see we're going out right by that tab. I say, if you're not, you need to back up. We'll do one more side. So that's the basis right there. I usually try to put something heavy right in the center of it, and when I draw that up, kind of shake it out, and you've got your little tabs there. Now this is not a good use of leather. I could have probably gotten 2 lacings out of that. I got in a hurry because I didn't want to keep you waiting. So that's basically it. When you draw that up, it's there. And you can just cut these whatever length you like. I mean, I like mine maybe about like that. And when I tie this knot, I like that knot to be nice and even. I don't like it crossed over itself. I like it side by side. Sometimes I'll leave a little bit more, sometimes I'll leave a little bit less. And I do like for them to be even, so I'll tie this one and then cut it off. Make sure that I don't leave too much there. Like I said, I like to have those straight in line, flat, pull that down snug. And sometimes I will cut them off about that long, but I won't on this one because I don't want it to be uneven. And there you have it. Nice little bag to put whatever you want in. The other thing you might think about when you're doing these, not necessarily with this particular lace, but that lace, a lot of times it'll come in pretty stiff. And if you'll just take that over the corner of your edge of your table and just run up and down it 3 or 4 times, just soften that up. The softer that is, the nicer it pulls up. And like I said, you can use, I guess you could use anything you wanted to make something like that. I've got some deer hide here and some goat. This is about 2 ounce. This is just barely 2 ounce here. I get this leather from Bruttrum's Village Leather up in Maine. They've got some real nice buys on some soft leather, and so I recommend them. So that's it. Make it any size you want. A lot of these can be given away as gifts. I make this big one for Ear Pro, for if you got any friends that are shooters. You might like something like that to protect that hearing hearing protection. But there you are. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and I hope that's helpful. I hope I covered everything. And just remember, if you're going to have something in this life, you're going to have to do something. See you next time.